All right, next thing we're gonna do here, we're gonna do some homemade jerky in the pellet smoker. It's pretty straightforward. It's about as easy as it gets. Got a little cut of London broil meat here. You can get it at your local supermarket. You'll notice here the grain of the meat is running across like this. There is some grain going across like this, left and right, but up and down is the main part. You always want to cut across the grain. So we're just gonna do a quick halfway cut here, work around the fat a little bit. Sit this here. You just want to try to make nice thin cuts. For the jerky, you'll see how the grain is running across. That gives it that classic jerky peel when you go to eat it. All right, we've got it all cut up. Looks like typical jerky. We're gonna put a little bit of the barbecue rub on, just to add a little seasoning. I like to keep it relatively simple. I'm using 2 raised racks here. That just keeps it off the grill grates. Unfortunately, this is kind of a small pellet smoker. I've got them sitting on top of each other a little bit. What we're gonna do, just gonna lightly sprinkle some rub on top. Maybe put a little too much on there. This is a full bottle. And we'll just flip them. Nice thing about doing it outside, you don't care where the rub goes. A little seasoning on it. We'll just let this sit for about 10-15 minutes. Let the meat get kind of up to the ambient temperature. And we'll pop it into the smoker. Once we put it in the smoker, we'll check it approximately every hour or so. It usually takes 2 to 3 hours. Once it looks right, we'll pull it off. All right, it's been about 15-20 minutes. We've let the rub kind of sweat its way into the meat. As you can see, it has a nice mahogany color to it. I think I may have misspoke earlier. I think I may have said I like to set the smoker at 225. Oftentimes I will do this recipe with a chuck roast, which has a lot higher fat content, and you want the higher temperature to kind of let the fat render down. This is a London broil, which is a much leaner cut of meat. We're gonna go ahead and just run it at the highest pause setting. I'm sorry, P0, which is, I believe, in pellet smokers, the minimal pause setting, which gives you a little bit higher temp, closer to 200, but still gives you plenty of smoke flavor. So we'll just go ahead and open this up. Carefully place this inside. I've got these little ones down here that just help it fall right down in the rack. We'll close this up for approximately 1 hour, and then we'll just open it up and take a look at the 1 hour mark. So I'll go ahead and set my little timer or reminder, and we'll be back in a little bit to check on it. All right, we're at the hour mark here. It's about time to check on this jerky. It's the best part of the process of cooking this, is you just put your feet up and let the aroma of the pellet smoker and enjoy the nice sunshine today. I think I may have misspoke a little bit earlier though. It's been a while since I've used this portable one that has a smoke setting here. So we'll talk about that real quick. So you can set a temperature for the indirect heat, which occurs underneath where you're cooking at. But I have it on the smoke setting, which is just a timed sequence of when the auger is going to feed the hopper inside pellets. And it's kind of backwards way you think of it. You would normally think that P0 would be the coolest temperature and P7 would be the highest. But it's actually the pause setting. So it's basically the pause between when it augers the pellets in and when it just burns. And if you have a longer pause time, you will have a lower temperature and more smoke, which is what I'm looking for with this jerky. We're just trying to dehydrate the meat. And I believe I said earlier that I wanted P0, but I actually want more like a P7 setting because I want it at the lowest temperature with the maximum smoke. Quick Google search will probably do a lot better job of explaining it than I just did, but let's just take a look to see how it looks in there. Looking good. It's got a little color to it. We've got, you know, a long time to go. Just wanted to make sure we don't have any imperfections going on in there. With these little pellet smokers, sometimes you have to check on things because they can act a little goofy. But yeah, we'll just close it up and let it go for another hour or two. Just whenever we feel like taking a look again, we'll take a look. But that's the best part of this. You just put your feet back up and enjoy the beautiful day. And the main thing I forgot to mention, which is why I check this every hour or two, is this particular portable pellet smoker, the pellets are in a inside of the lid. So you have to pop it up and feed it every once in a while. If you forget, don't ask me how I know this. You'll flame it out and then messes all kinds of stuff up. So make sure it's good and topped off. That'll go for about 2 more hours and then we'll check it again. All right, well, since we last looked at this, it's been about 3 hours. Went ahead and just let it run for 4 hours total time. We probably got a pretty good jerky batch in here. Now, it's not true jerky, because I'm not fully dehydrating it. I like to have a little bit of the moisture still in there. What I did is at the 2 hour mark, I flipped them all over and then let them go for another 2 more hours. So it's been 4 hours total. But let's take a look and see what this looks like. See how we got that nice break on it? That's how you know it's done. You see a little bit of a smoke ring inside of there, and you still have some meat on the inside. We'll take a bite. Not bad, that's good flavor. Want to take a little bite yourself? It's hot, but be careful.
Okay.
The jerky's tough.
Yeah.
But
It's good.
not too bad. We'll just shut this down, let it cool down. We'll put it in a Ziploc bag and make a good snack. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'll tweak on it some more, but that's pretty much it. Just let it cool down, put it in the bag, and we'll make a good snack.